With an army second to none, an effective cavalry, and a sophisticated administration, the Assyrian Empire held sway over the entire Near East in the mid-7th century BC. It was the largest, best organized state the ancient world had ever seen, appearing unattainable and invincible to its enemies. But how did it become such a dominant power? Arguably, four major factors gave the Assyrian army an edge over the other city-states of Mesopotamia: an unmatched propaganda of terror, expertise in siege warfare, adept administration, and finally, being the first major power in history to utilize irregular cavalry. Now, to understand all this properly, let's quickly backtrack and have a brief look at how Assyria rose to power. The rise of the Neo-Assyrian Empire coincided with one of humankind's greatest technological advances, the processing of iron. Soon after the beginning of the Iron Age in the late 2nd millennium BC, iron tools changed pretty much every aspect of life in the Near East, especially agriculture. Around the same time, a series of capable rulers bolstered the strength of the city-states of Ashur, located on the Tigris River. At the time, Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, was divided between city-states struggling for dominance. Only twice had it been united under a single ruler, first in the 24th century BC under Sargon of Akkad, and second in the 18th century BC under the famous lawgiver Hammurabi. Starting around 1300 BC, Assyria began to expand. By the time of King Tiglath-Pileser I, it was the dominant power in eastern Mesopotamia. Toward the end of Tiglath-Pileser's reign, however, Assyrian fortunes declined. Aramean tribes invaded their lands from the western desert, and the so-called Sea Peoples threw the eastern Mediterranean into disorder. When the crisis, commonly referred to as the Late Bronze Age collapse, finally came to an end about 150 years later, Assyria emerged as one of the very few powers that had not been fully destroyed. Soon, its kings began to create the empire that would eventually absorb much of the Near East, the Neo-Assyrian Empire. By 900 BC, smiths had developed the procedures to make hard iron suitable for weapons and tools, and Assyria slowly but steadily began to arm its richest warriors with these advanced weapons. However, the impact of iron weapons was marginal for the next few hundred years. In any case, soon Assyria engaged in extensive military campaigns led by the warlike kings Ashurnasirpal II and his son Shalmaneser III. Following a tried-and-true strategy, they expanded their empire along trade routes, mainly east and west, and secured Assyria's borders. The Assyrian reign was characterized by its ruthless efficiency and the implementation of terror as a tool of control, ensuring that fear of the empire remained etched into the minds of its enemies.